the girl who never spoke until she sang at her mother's funeral. For as long as anyone could remember, Amina had never spoken a single word. From the day she was born, silence wrapped around her like a second skin. Doctors tried, elders prayed, and her mother whispered hope into her ears every night, but Amina remained quiet. Not a cry, not a hum, not a sound. Yet everyone who knew her agreed on one thing: silence never made her weak. She communicated with her eyes, wide and expressive like the sky before dawn. She wrote beautifully, even as a child. And when she smiled, her mother said it felt like the sun finally rose. Her mother, Miriam, loved her fiercely. She shielded her, taught her gently, and never allowed anyone to call her broken. Amina was simply different. A soul born with a quietness too deep for ordinary words. But life, as it often does, carried sadness in its shadow. One rainy evening, Miriam collapsed inside their small home. Sudden illness, the doctor said. Too sudden, too cruel. The village watched Amina cling to her mother, shaking, her face drained of color but silent as ever. Not even grief could break her barrier. Days blurred together. The world moved around Amina, planning the funeral, offering condolences, whispering pity. Amina said nothing. Her silence felt heavier now, like it filled every corner of the house her mother once brightened. When the day of the funeral arrived, the villagers gathered under the old baobab tree. The air was still, as though even the wind paused to mourn. Amina stood near her mother's coffin, small and fragile, clutching the last shawl her mother ever wore. People wondered how she would express her goodbye. A girl who had never spoken, how would she release the weight inside her? Then something unexpected began to happen. Amina stepped forward. Her hands trembled. Her shoulders shook. And for a moment it seemed she would collapse from sorrow. But instead, she closed her eyes and pressed her lips together. And then a sound came out. Not a word. A note. Soft at first, like a breeze brushing past a window. Then another. And another. Her voice rose, clear, haunting, fragile and powerful all at once. The villagers froze. Some gasped. Some cried. Her voice flowed like something ancient, something carried inside her since birth but locked away until this moment of unbearable pain broke the chains. She sang not with skill, but with emotion so raw that every heart around her cracked open. The words didn't belong to any song they knew. It was as if the melody had been waiting inside her all her life, ready to be born only through grief. Amina sang of love. She sang of longing. She sang of the mother who saw beauty in silence and raised her with unconditional tenderness. People wept openly. Even the elders whose faces rarely changed softened into sorrow. The village children held each other. The air itself seemed to pulse with her voice. When the final note faded, Amina's knees buckled. Someone rushed to catch her, but she lifted her head and whispered her first word in the world. Mother. Just one word. Barely audible. But it was enough to make the crowd shiver. From that day on, Amina still rarely spoke. But she sang. She sang when she missed her mother. She sang when she wanted to share joy. She sang when words felt too small. Her voice carried her mother's memory through the village, reminding everyone that sometimes silence is not emptiness, it is simply a story waiting for the right moment to break free. And when it finally does, the whole world stops to listen. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.